Could the recent Tafoun Al-Aqsa War and America's delay in delivering weapons to Israel signal a shift in the historically strong American-Israeli relations? It's a question that's been buzzing around political circles and international newsrooms. It's one that's met with a mix of speculation, concern, and intrigue. This isn't just about a war or a delayed delivery. It's about two nations that have stood shoulder to shoulder for decades, through thick and thin, through peace and conflict. So when the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War broke out, and America's response in delivering weapons to Israel was slower than expected, it raised some eyebrows. Was this a one-off event or an indicator of a deeper change? Could this be a sign of a seismic shift in the geopolitical landscape? These are the questions that are now looming over the American-Israeli relations. But to fully grasp the weight of these questions, we need to go back in time. So let's delve into the historical timeline to understand the gravity of this shift. And as we continue this journey together, we encourage you to subscribe to the World Stories channel. Don't forget to like this video, leave your comments below, and share it with others. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to you. Rewind to the mid-20th century when America and Israel first started building their diplomatic ties. The United States was one of the first nations to recognize Israel as a sovereign state in 1948, marking the start of a relationship that would shape global politics for decades to come. The reasons for this alliance were multifaceted. From a strategic standpoint, America saw Israel as a valuable ally in the Middle East, a region vital to global security and economy. On a philosophical level, the two countries shared common democratic values and principles, forming a bond that transcended mere political expediency. Over the years, this bond has only strengthened. For instance, during the Six-Day War in 1967, America stood by Israel, supporting its right to self-defense. This key event solidified the partnership, demonstrating America's commitment to Israel's security and sovereignty. Similarly, the Camp David Accords in 1978, brokered by American President Jimmy Carter, further underscored the pivotal role of the United States in Israeli affairs. It was a landmark moment that not only brought a semblance of peace between Israel and Egypt, but also cemented America's position as a key player in the region. Then came the 21st century, with its myriad challenges. The September 11th attacks, the Iraq War, and the Arab Spring all had profound impacts on American-Israeli relations. Yet through all these events, the alliance remained unwavering, a testament to its enduring nature. Fast forward to recent times, and the narrative seems to be changing. The Tafoun Al-Aqsa War, led by Hamas leaders, became a pivotal point in this narrative. This conflict was a game-changer, a significant event that sent ripples through the international community. The war was instigated by Hamas, a Palestinian political organization with a military wing. Their leaders initiated a series of strategic maneuvers that quickly escalated into a full-blown confrontation. The Tafoun Al-Aqsa War was not just a battle, it was a struggle for national identity, a fight for the soul of Palestine. The streets echoed with the sounds of gunfire and the cries of the wounded. The scent of smoke and fear permeated the air. But amidst the chaos, the resilience of the Palestinian people shone through. Their determination was as clear as the night sky, their resolve as solid as the ancient stones of their homeland. The international community watched, their eyes glued to the unfolding events. Countries across the globe held their breath, waiting to see how this would play out, what it would mean for the Middle East and the world. And then there was America. The United States, a longtime ally of Israel, responded to the conflict in a way that raised more than a few eyebrows. Instead of rushing to Israel's aid, as many expected, the American response was slow and measured. This was not the usual swift, decisive action we were accustomed to seeing from the States. This was something different, something unexpected. The American delay in delivering weapons to Israel during the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War was seen by many as a significant shift in policy. It sparked debates and heated discussions. Was this a strategic move or a significant misstep? Only time would tell. Amidst this chaos, an unexpected development took place. As the dust began to settle, The world was left to ponder the implications of the war and America's surprising response. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. In the very bowels of the tumultuous Tafoun Al-Aqsa War, a far more subtle, far more insidious battle was simmering. A conflict of words, not bullets, strategic territories, not physical battlegrounds. We're plunging into the media duel between US President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and the high-stakes struggle over the Frederica axis between Egypt and Israel. The media face-off between Biden and Netanyahu was a simmering cauldron of tension and consequential power plays. Netanyahu, the hawk circling his prey, remained unyielding, whilst Biden, a seasoned diplomat, was cautious yet resolute. Their televised dialogues morphed into a battlefield of their own, a verbal war waging in the world's living rooms. But the media conflict was but the surface ripple of a far deeper oceanic struggle, the contention over the Frederica axis. Egypt held this strategic pathway captive, a bone of contention during the war. Israel, eyeing control, harbored hopes of severing the lifeline to the forsaken Palestinians. Egypt, however, remained a bulwark of resistance, a wall of defiance, creating a tense impasse that added even more turbulence to an already tempestuous situation. Israel's pressure on Egypt persisted, unrelenting, an iron hand aiming to choke off the aid to the displaced Palestinians. Amidst this, the Gaza Strip was a tableau of daily carnage and chaos, fueling the already tensions. These are the battles fought in the shadows of the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War, adding yet another layer of intricacy to an already labyrinthine situation. They underscore the complex, multi-dimensional nature of this conflict, amplifying the urgency to comprehend and traverse its treacherous pathways. As we move forth, let's dissect the American reaction to these events, a response as confounding as it is revealing. Between the media conflict and America's delayed response, a new point of contention arose. Israel's intention to invade Rafah, a city home to 1,800,000 displaced Palestinian citizens on the edge of the Egyptian border. The specter of this invasion added a new dimension to the already complex dynamics of the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War. Israel's plans for Rafah were far-reaching, with potential implications that could drastically alter the lives of the displaced Palestinian citizens. The specter of Israeli control loomed ominously over Rafah, threatening to disrupt the already precarious existence of its inhabitants. The prospect of further displacement, of losing their last refuge, hung heavily over the Palestinian citizens. On the other side of the world, America voiced its opposition to these plans. This opposition, however, wasn't just about Rafah. It was symptomatic of a larger dispute, a growing chasm between the two allies. With each disagreement, with each divergence in their war strategies, the alliance between America and Israel seemed to fray just a little bit more. This was a diplomatic dance on a razor's edge, a delicate balancing act between strategic interests and humanitarian concerns. Rafah, though, wasn't just a pawn in this diplomatic chess game. It was a symbol, a microcosm of the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It was a city that bore the brunt of the war, the scars of displacement, and the weight of history. Its fate was intertwined with the fate of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a barometer of the shifting dynamics in this age-old struggle. This dispute over Rafah is a key piece of the puzzle in understanding the shifting dynamics of American-Israeli relations. It's a testament to the changing tides of international politics, a reflection of the evolving narratives of power and ideology. As we delve into America's delayed response, keep this dispute, this symbol, in mind. It's a crucial part of the story, a narrative thread that weaves its way through the labyrinth of the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War. America, known for its prompt support to Israel, delayed its weapon delivery. This unexpected decision left the world in a state of surprise. America's delay in delivering weapons to Israel during the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War marked a significant deviation from its usual stance. This wasn't mere tardiness, but a conspicuous pause that raised eyebrows worldwide. Now, let's delve into the potential reasons behind this delay. One theory suggests that America was simply reassessing its position in the Middle East. With a growing global call for peace and a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it's plausible that America was attempting to strike a balance to appear less partial while maintaining its strategic alliances. Another theory points to internal politics. During this period, America was grappling with its own challenges. The country was deeply divided, and the administration might have been cautious, avoiding any move that could potentially exacerbate these divisions. Yet another explanation revolves around international pressure. The world was watching, and the images of devastation from the war were heart-wrenching. Perhaps America was seeking to avoid further international criticism by delaying weapon delivery. Whatever the reasons, the implications of this delay were far-reaching. It left Israel feeling uncertain and exposed. The delay might have also emboldened Hamas leaders, sending a message that America was not as unwavering in its support for Israel as it once was. But beyond the immediate implications, this delay raised questions about the future of American-Israeli relations. Could this be a sign of a subtle shift in America's Middle East policy? Or was it just a temporary hiccup in an otherwise solid alliance? This delay left many pondering about the future of American-Israeli relations. As we move forward, it's crucial to keep an eye on these developments, to understand what they mean for the dynamics of the Middle East and indeed for global politics. What does this mean for the future of American-Israeli relations? As we venture into the realm of speculation, we must consider the potential implications of the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War and America's delayed response in delivering weapons to Israel. These events have certainly left a mark on the relationship between the two nations, but what could this mean moving forward? Firstly, this could signal a shift in America's policy towards the Middle East. Traditionally, the United States has been a staunch supporter of Israel. However, this recent delay could be interpreted as a wavering commitment or a strategic recalibration. If this is the case, it might lead to a reevaluation of alliances and partnerships in the region. Secondly, the deterioration of relations could have ramifications on the global stage. Other nations, observing this shift, might also reconsider their own relations with Israel or the United States. This could result in a reshuffling of international allegiances, which could significantly alter the geopolitical landscape. Thirdly, on a more personal level, this could affect the perception of the American public towards Israel and vice versa. The narrative surrounding these events could shape public opinion, which in turn could influence future policy decisions. Lastly, this could potentially impact the peace process in the Middle East. If America's support for Israel wanes, it could provide an opportunity for other nations to step in and play a more active role in fostering dialogue and resolving conflicts. However, it's important to remember that these are all speculations. The future is fluid, influenced by a myriad of factors that are constantly changing and evolving. The relationship between America and Israel is no different. It's a dynamic bond, shaped by historical ties, shared values, and mutual interests, but also tested by conflicts, disagreements, and changing global realities. Only time will tell whether this is a temporary phase or a long-term shift in American-Israeli relations. To sum up, the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War and America's delayed weapon delivery to Israel have sparked questions about the future of American-Israeli relations. We've delved into the historical context, the significance of the Tafoun Al-Aqsa War, and the implications of America's belated response. This sequence of events has led to a marked deterioration in relations between these two traditionally allied nations. It's important to remember that these events don't occur in a vacuum, as they have far-reaching implications for the region and the world at large. The potential shift in American-Israeli relations could well alter the balance of power in the Middle East. It might also impact the United States' global standing, its diplomatic strategies, and its alliances. This is a testament to the ripple effects of regional conflicts and the intricacies of international diplomacy. As we continue to observe these developments, one thing is certain: the dynamics of international relations are ever changing.